Last month has proven to be a testing time for Scream fans, especially for those currently waiting for the upcoming Scream 7 movie. Towards the end of November, it was announced that Scream 7 would receive a complete overhaul and would serve as a fresh reboot of the story. But what were the original plans for Scream 7? What was the story set to be, and how would the Carpenter sisters story have been concluded had Spyglass not called for a creative refresh? Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of Beyond the Mask. Today we're taking a deep dive into the original Scream 7 and the intentions Christopher Landon had when he wrote the movie earlier this year. Before I go any further, this information comes from quote-unquote reliable leakers. One of these was a source who spoke specifically to Critical Overlord, but today I'm combining this information with what Spyglass have specifically stated about the movie in their more recent statements, what insiders have said, and I'm going to create a narrative for you guys so you can understand the full plan in detail. Let's dive straight in. Scream 7 was to serve as a continuation to Scream 6, with the movie fully prepared to not only carry on but conclude the story narrative set up in Scream 2022 and Scream 6. The Carpenter sisters story was to be a pivotal part in the movie, with the 7th serving as the end of that story. The movie would have brought back 8 cast members, the core 4, Sidney Prescott and Matt Kincaid, Gale Weathers and Kirby Reed. As the movie opened up, a Ghostface attack against Sidney Prescott would serve as the main focus of the story, with her family put at risk, including Patrick Dempsey as Matt Kincaid. Gale Weathers would have been connected to Sidney's story, which would have led them to believing the attack was an isolated one. However, away from Sidney in Los Angeles, another Ghostface would have made a move towards the core 4, with Sam Carpenter being the main target of the attack. Tara's role was significantly less in this version, as Jenna Ortega was allegedly to take a back seat due to scheduling conflicts, so Tara's presence in the movie would have been significantly reduced. It's possible this would have resulted in Mindy and Chad Meeks Martin being brought more central to the story in her place. Eventually this would have been connected to Sidney's incident and would have eventually resulted in the two stories meshing together for one climax, which would have also seen all of the survivors unite for a spectacular final act. A final act that would also serve as a conclusion to the Carpenter sisters story, but more or less conclude the franchise as a whole. Sidney's mother, Maureen Prescott, was allegedly supposed to be brought up in this movie. How this would have played out is currently unknown. Kirby Reed's role was also unknown, however given her status as a detective, it's likely she would have been investigating the attacks once again. And that is all that is currently known about Scream 7. It's unfortunate that this won't get made. I mean, I personally like the idea that the movie would have concluded the story, not just for the Carpenter sisters, but for the franchise as a whole. But instead we're now getting a full reboot due to the fact that Spyglass have decided to unfairly fire Melissa Barrera. What I want to know is, which version of Scream 7 would you have preferred? A faithful sequel and conclusion to the story set up in Scream 5 and 6, or a reboot with a fresh new narrative? Share your opinions below. If you're unaware, I'm currently working on a novelisation that will continue the Lakewood story that was set up in MTV Scream. The book will serve as a continuation to the story where it left off in Season 2, and has also been okayed by the showrunners of the show, and will have the official Paramount title attached to it. If you would like early access to the novel, then you can join my Patreon below, where I will be releasing chapters every month over there, so you guys will see how everything goes down before it hits Kindle next year. The link to Patreon is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and be sure to subscribe, as I'll be covering a lot more Scream related trivia, more Scream 7 news, and anything else that drops about the movies going forward. And I will see you guys in the next video.